Hello. Are you struggling with the time to come up with your own social media posts? Well, that's our topic for today on Master It Monday. We're going to talk about 5 tips for you to create a month's worth of content. And I know this can be a struggle. What happens a lot with businesses is they plan their social media on a daily basis. When you do that, what you're actually doing is spending more time than you really need to on your social. Now, I'm going to talk about a month's worth of content in one sitting. Now, you can take these same things that we're talking about today and you can implement them on a weekly basis if you want to try that first. If you're going from being a daily user to being a monthly user, that might be a little bit too much. And I want to make this easy for you. So we're going to talk about doing it for a month, but I want you to keep in mind you can do this on a weekly basis just to start yourselves off. Now, I hope I'm being joined by a few of my consistently happy fans. If you could please leave in the comments below that you're here, and anytime during this presentation, if you have a question, make sure you leave it in the comments below, and I'll be happy to bring your name up and answer your question for you. Now, at Master It Monday, I'm here to educate businesses on developing an engaging social media presence with some tips and tricks to get you from where you are now to where you want to be with your social media. And sometimes these tricks and tips are free. Most of the time, they are. And I'm going to cover some of the things today are about more about the scheduling and planning your social media, but tips to make it easy. So let's pop right into our presentation. So here's what we're going to cover. Today is going to be 5 tips on creating a month's worth of social media content in one sitting. This is not as difficult as it sounds. Trust me on this one. So, mapping your social media success. We're going to talk about social media posts are essential for driving traffic to your business, especially now during the pandemic. We're talking about how you can drive traffic to your business. And we can't count on the signs on the street anymore. You can't count on passing out flyers at your local grocery store, all those things that local businesses do. What we need to do is to look at our social media as a place to advertise our business for free. So let's think about how you advertise your business for free on social media. Feel free to leave those comments below. Now, posting content is an important step to your marketing efforts. We talk about how you need a well-developed profile for your social media, regardless of what they are: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google My Business, or Twitter, whether it's you're using now, you're using something like TikTok. How are you developing your profile? But you can't just have profile, you need to have content. For Instagram, for example, there are multiple ways you can provide your content. You can use your content with a standard post, you can use reels, you can use stories, you can use IGTV, tons of things to do. We're going to focus today on all of these contents and how to get them done. So if what would be really helpful for me, if you could leave in the comments below, what's your favorite platform? Is it Facebook, Instagram, Google My Business, etc., LinkedIn? What is your favorite? That would really help me with today's presentation as well, so I can focus on that for you. And also, look, content keeps you connected to your followers. So when you are looking at your content, you need to think of your customer first. Not what you want to promote, but what your customer needs. And that will help you through. So are you ready for your first tip? Thumbs up. Let me know. Okay, so Lucy is telling me that Instagram is her best way to communicate with her clients. Thank you, Lucy. And Lucy, by the way, while you're here, comment below what your business is. We love to promote other businesses on our channel. So make sure you leave that below what your business name is and how we can reach out to you and support you on your Instagram channel. So here is something that I've come up with. Now, granted, guys, there are times when I'm creating these late at night, so you got to cut me some slack, but you have to block out time once a month. And I came up with this simple way to remember it. Remember to block the rabbit to form a habit. Okay, so you got to block the rabbit to form the habit. So let's talk about what this strange, obscure phrase means. Okay, so the first, block. Now we're talking about a month's worth of content. As I mentioned earlier, you can do the similar thing and do it weekly. You just have to adjust your time. So block out about 2 to 3 hours of time once a month to create content for the upcoming month. You need to stay focused on doing this, and you need to work fast if you're going to do 15 posts in 1 month, which is sort of what I recommend, 2 to 3 posts a week, if you can swing it. If you're doing that, you're going to have to be really targeted on that 2 to 3 hours. And here's where the rabbit comes in. You have to avoid distractions. This is the worst thing. And this is something I struggle with myself. You have to avoid the distractions that come in and get caught in those rabbit holes. Like you're working on searching for an image and then you find all this other stuff. And then you're on Facebook and you see something that interests you. And then you have to block this time out and you have to avoid the rabbit holes. And the third thing is the habit. When you do this once a month or once a week, you'll get faster. And that 2 to 3 hours then becomes 2 hours a month instead of 3 hours a month. So the more you make it a habit, the faster you'll get. And here's the thing, when you're creating your social media content on a monthly basis, what you're doing is, instead of going into whatever tool you're using to create the graphics and then going into what content am I going to write and then going into the platform that you're going to be doing, all of these things will end up being done together. So you're going into the tool you're using to design and you just knock out design 1, design 2, design 3, design 4. You just keep going at it and you're in the groove of it. You know, it's like, you ever get interrupted when you're watching a movie and somebody interrupts you and you're like, where was I? Man, I got to rewind the movie and right? This is what we do in our lives. We get distracted by the phone call. Then we have all that rethinking time of where we were. I just want to pop out, Lucy is sharing that she's an event coordinator with Mountainside Events and Reland Farm Premier Outdoor Events. Very cool. Thank you for sharing that, Lucy. Make sure you leave your Instagram tag in the chat below too, so we can all follow you. So that's our first step, okay? Do the block out the time once a month, block the rabbit to form the habit. The second one is to use a spreadsheet or some type of planning tool. It could be digital, it could be electronic, to organize your posts so that you can keep track of what you've posted and when you've posted and how, on what platform. So I use a spreadsheet to see a whole month. And that to me, so I can mix up things. You don't want to have a sales pitch, a sales pitch, a sales pitch. You maybe want a quote and a sales pitch, and then maybe a tip, right? Or maybe it's a special day of the week. Like you don't want to have a like hashtag motivational Monday followed by a tip Tuesday. You could, but you know, the other thing is, do you want to have special events like upcoming tomorrow is Scrabble, National Scrabble Day. I am a Scrabble fan. I love Scrabble. So that's something that you can look at and say, oh, do I want to have those kind of special days that sort of fit into my brand, but really don't? It's just something for fun that I do to entertain my audience. You don't want to do that every day. You want to spread them out, and a spreadsheet will help you with that. The other thing is see what holidays are coming up. So when you're planning May, do you know when Memorial Day is? And is that going to be something where you're going to have a special on Memorial Day? Space out your posts throughout the month. I covered that. And then get your free calendar at Master It Media. If you don't have one, I provide one for free. And this is because many of my clients were struggling with this, our followers here. So make sure that you you have something that's easy for you to use. And if that is a paper calendar, then that's a paper calendar. I am not judging here. The reason I like using a spreadsheet, now remember, I've got 35 years experience in IT. I cannot function in business without my computer. That's my style. But that being said, when I create the content in my spreadsheet, I can easily copy and paste it without having to retype things. If you use a trick like that in, how you schedule your posts or how you write things up, it may even be a Word document, guys. It doesn't have to be fancy. Let me know. But if you need that free calendar, just pop over to masteritmedia.com and a pop-up will come up and you can sign up to get your free calendar. It's there. It's an Excel spreadsheet. You can also copy it and upload it right into a Google Doc if you want, if that's easier for you. The third one is a customer question log. I love this. The customer question log is something that I do for my business. I keep a log of commonly asked questions. Not only do I use this for my social media posts, but I also use it for a number of different things. Course creation, my Master It Mondays. I may develop some product based about a question that a customer may have. Like one of the things we talked about was hashtags. Like that's something that I provided for my customers. It was a freebie. It was a giveaway. It was a hashtag calendar that I created. So things like that can really help you focus your business. So when you keep this log of commonly asked questions, I want you to also look at some of your industry's FAQ pages. Now, this may be going to something where you have a business that it may be a competitor. It may be an organization. Like we have Lucy here today, who is an events coordinator. There are organizations and other helpful tips and tricks on websites that help event coordinators. So she can go out there and look at the different things that are offered for events coordinators and take those commonly asked questions and implement them right into her own social media. So that's another great idea. Another one is to create posts that answer those questions, right? So you're looking at the log of people who call you up, of people who send you an email, people who respond to other social media posts you have. Take those all, put them in a log so that when you go to create your social media for the month, all you have to do is grab that logbook or open that Word document or go into that Google Doc, and you can then look at the questions and say, oh, I have a great answer for this question. So that's fantastic. Now, special hashtag days. If you have a favorite, leave it in the comments below because I love learning new things. Because hashtags are things that change all the time. There's always new ones coming up. There's some tried and true ones that are out there, and there's new ones that are coming up. So let's take a look at a few. So one of the things I love is an upcoming holiday. So when you're talking about whether it's Easter or Passover, right? You had both. Some people did a post because they ended up coming together, very close together for the year. They did a post that had both, and they hashtagged Passover, they hashtagged Easter. You could do that. Some people stay away from religious holidays. So think about the other holidays that come up, like the 4th of July, or, it could be a random holiday. It could be your business anniversary. So it could be something along those lines. Featured day of the week. These were things like I was talking about Motivational Monday. This is Flashback Friday. There are some consistent ones that are used throughout the week, and you can make your own up, but they come up like Tech Tip Tuesday or Tip Tuesday or, Wellness Wednesday and Throwback Thursday. They're fun. people follow them. It's a way to help you get more engagement when you use them. It also can give you that little idea of how you can kind of leverage on a trend and do your own social that way. Another one are national days. So there's a national day calendar that you can pull up, and this calendar will show you some of the things that are national days. And you know there are certain months, days, weeks that are set aside for special days. So, for example, we're when you're looking at February, right? This is Black History Month. These are things that you can shout out. Maybe it's a client or a customer or an employee that you want to shout out in that time, right? This is a way to promote awareness for that national day, but it also is a way that you can share something that is, again, a national holiday, a way to make things easier. And hashtags are a way to do that, especially if we're talking about Instagram and you've got 30 that you can use in an Instagram post. The other thing that I do, and again, this goes back to something that I had said before about when you listen to your customers, sometimes you get ideas for your own products. And Teleprompter is a new product that Master It Media is offering. It's a subscription-based service. And what you can do is take this service and it has all of the hashtags you're going to need for the upcoming week. Now, we did this on a weekly basis because we found that people needed that weekly motivation, that once a month wasn't enough. So if you're looking at something and you need help and you don't want to do any research, you just want somebody to easily drop something in your mail every week, then take a look at Teleprompter and see if it's a good fit for your business. And if you have any questions, just email me and I'm happy to answer them. And this is not going to be put in the link below. This is something for only those of you who are watching and listening intently. If you use code 50OFF, OFF, 50OFF when you sign up, you get 50% off for the first 3 months of your subscription. So that's a little bonus for all of you that are following and listening. So thanks for that. Now, tip 5, this is our last tip: graphics, videos, and photos. This is something that I worry about sometimes with people who are still new to doing social media. And I'll tell you why I worry. Because if you don't have the rights to use your images, if you don't take your own photos, if it's not coming from a royalty-free site, even some of the royalty-free sites have photos and videos that are copyrighted, okay? It's a problem. You need to make sure, because if it has something like a watermark, and sometimes they don't even have watermarks, and that's where it gets a little more difficult. If it has a watermark, and that's that kind of like, it's sort of like whitish text or a cross that goes through it, an X, it, first of all, it doesn't look professional. It shows that this is something that a graphic person would know, a marketing person would know, but sometimes the general public doesn't. And you don't want to have that look on your own social. So be careful, but they're illegal to use, especially if they have a watermark. But that doesn't mean that you have the right to use it if it's just out on the internet. And that's where people get in trouble, because they don't realize that. And sometimes it's hard to figure out. This is the other thing. Sometimes it's really hard to know whether an image is copyrighted or not. The whole way around this is to take your own pictures. Sometimes that's not realistic, right? So what I did do a video on royalty-free sites, and I'll put that information in the chat. But here's the other thing, and I mentioned this already. Because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's free to use. But my favorite tool is Canva. That tool, and I know that this is something that some people like to use, some people don't. If you have another tool, that's fine. But a tool like Canva is a great tool, because if it's You have the rights to use it because you're using the software. They've already vetted the fact that it is public domain for you to use. Now, Canva does have a paid version and a free version. In the paid version, you get tons more opportunity to use more photos that could be better suited to whatever image you're looking for. My personal opinion in my business, I pay for the Canva version because I find it less limiting to what I can do. I also get graphics and, templates and everything else that I can use. So it's worth it. If you're, but think about it. How much time do you spend searching for the right photo? And if you go to use a photo that you absolutely love on Canva and you have to pay for it individually, it's like $1 a photo. If I'm using the paid version, I think it ranges between $10 and $13 a month. If that's one photo a post, if you're doing 15 posts, and then you don't have to worry about searching for everything, and you get all the templates and everything else. That's what made my decision, because I don't want to spend the time or waste my time searching for a ton of photos and not knowing if they're copyrighted or not. So keep that in mind when you're making your decision as to whether or not you're going to pay for a tool like Canva. I have Canva's information in the chat below. So those are my 5 tips that we talked about today. You have we talked about blocking out your time once a month or once a week. Remember, block the rabbit to form the habit. Block out your time, 2 to 3 hours a month, or however long it takes you. You have to plan it out. Don't get stuck in that rabbit hole. And remember, the more you do it, the faster you'll get, and it'll become a habit for you. So that was tip 1, block out your time. Tip 2, get that spreadsheet going or some kind of calendar so that you can keep yourself on track. Tip 3 was get that customer log. That customer question log is going to be such great information for you to develop content and more. And don't forget about those special hashtag days. It makes developing content really easy. And our last tip, tip 5, was the video and the photos. So that's our 5 tips on how to help you create a whole month's worth of content in just one sitting. If you have any questions, always know Master It Media and Maggie Carey is here to help you through any of your challenges. Feel free, if you're watching us on the replay on YouTube, to click that subscribe button and hit that bell so you get reminded every time we upload a new video. We also upload videos every Friday with a very short, quick tip that micro tips into a specific thing that you can do on social media to help you grow. We have topics on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, all to help you get the most out of your social media and most of the free things that you can do on social media. As always, any questions, email me, Maggie@masteritmedia.com. Visit our website. Make sure that you are, that you know that we're here to help you. This is a teleprompter. If you wanted to sign up and get that service as well, don't feel like you're in it alone, because this is the thing. Sometimes we struggle with our social and we don't know what to write. And sometimes we go through all this work and then nobody says anything. Ask questions. Make sure people are engaging and that you're listening to them and what their problems are. Ask, like I'm asking you, guys, let me know if you have a question, if you have a problem, put it in the chat. Let me know. Lucy, you are very welcome. Lucy says, thank you so much. This is great. I'm so glad you found this helpful, Lucy. Always feel like you can reach out. That's how I help grow my business. That's how I help other business. I'm really passionate about helping people grow their own businesses. At Master It Media, I'm here to educate you on social media, but I do have 35 years experience in IT. I help people in a number of different ways. So don't forget, I'm a resource for you. If I don't know the answer, I know somebody who does. And I don't say that as a brag. I say that because I talk to a lot of people all the time. And I love listening to stories, and I love to hear more about your business. So, wrapping up, Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern every Monday. I am here to help you on Master It Monday. So please come back and visit us again. Watch our other YouTube videos and find out how you can take your social media up a notch and find out about things. I get a comment like this all the time. I didn't know I could do that on XYZ platform. And yes, you can. So take a look at those videos. Let me know if there's a topic you'd like to see on an upcoming Master It Monday. And as always, at Master It Media, we're here to help you take the commotion out of your promotion. I'll see you next Monday. Have a great day.